The most dominant NFL playoff runs ever, Chris, you're up.
Well, the one that jumped out to my mind right when I thought about this, and just it was, prime childhood, is the 1989 49ers, right? Of course, the 49ers, I couldn't stand them growing up, and they made me cry more times than not because they were beating the Giants or whatever else. But 89, I mean, the divisional, first off, they had just won the Super Bowl in 88. 89, they whooped the crap out of, as usual, playoff loss for the Vikings, okay? Then they beat the Rams 30-3, right? And then go to the Super Bowl and just absolutely obliterate John Elway and the Broncos 55-10. That is like, I don't remember them even breaking a sweat in that playoffs. So that to me would be the one where that really stands out the most as dominating in the playoffs.
I remember settling in for that Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
School, great menu, right? Everything's ready. This is going to be a great day. And
Game's over.
Hell, why am I here?
Right.
I don't know how you could skip over the 85 Bears. I think that was the most dominant postseason run we've ever seen in any sport. They beat the Giants 21-0. They beat the Rams 24-0. That video of Wilbur Marshall with the snow, and they should have shut out the Patriots 46-10. I remember there was like a little bit of time during Super Bowl 20 where it's like, hey, maybe the Patriots, when Steve Grogan and his horse collar and the old Pat Patriot helmet, maybe they'll give him a game. No. 46-10. So 10 total points allowed in 3 games by the Bears. It's still astounding to me. They only ever won 1 Super Bowl with that team.
It is pretty astounding. They couldn't beat the Washington Redskins at the time. That was the 87, 88. They got upset by them in the playoffs. They would have lost in 86 to the Giants anyway, so it doesn't matter. It does not matter. But yeah, damn, that team was really good. They really were, and they whooped some people's butt. All right, I think I'm going to go here to I'm going to go back to the 49ers. I'm going to go to the 1984 49ers. Yep, I don't give a damn. I'm just going with the teams that I remember being the most dominant, or, I don't necessarily remember this one, but I'm a big NFL films watcher type of guy. 84, I know they stick to me with this way. My dad, and he always talks about the 1984 49ers defense. It might have not been the 1985 Bears, but it was damn close. So that's why it sticks out in my brain as well, let alone they whooped the crap out of the Giants 21-10. They whooped the crap out of the Bears 23-0 in the NFC Championship game, and then whooped the crap out of Dan Marino and the Dolphins in the Super Bowl 38-16. So that's one there. And of course they were 15-1 along the way. I'm gonna throw them in there.
I remember I couldn't wait for that Super Bowl. I remember the hype. Joe Montana versus Dan Marino.
Right?
This is going to be great. This is going to be great. And it was another one where I was like, all right. How are you skipping over your dad's team?
Well, you're not supposed to take them. You're supposed to leave them for me.
No, I've left them for you twice now. You think I'm going to leave them to round 3? The 1986
I didn't
Giants.
think you would take them.
They beat the 49ers, the dominant 49ers, 49-3. They embarrassed the 49ers, shut out Washington, and even though they were down 10-9 at halftime against the Denver Broncos, they won that game 39-20. So, yeah, the Giants, and it just felt preordained all year long that the Giants were going to win the Super Bowl, ever from the moment that they had the 4th and long play against the Vikings.
Yeah.
Like they were the team of destiny. 2 rounds down, 1 to go there with the picks so far. The most dominant playoff runs in honor of the UConn men's basketball team, which won every game by at least 13 points en route to the championship last night. Chris, who do you have in round 3?
Yeah, this is tough. 83 Raiders have come to my mind, but I'm going to go to one that I just thought I remember feeling at the time it was inevitable. Like, it's inevitable. They're going to go through the playoffs and win the Super Bowl, and can somebody come close? And it always goes back to your Vikings are part of the story of screwing it up. So that's why I like it too. The 1998 Broncos, when they didn't have to play the Vikings in the Super Bowl, it felt inevitable. They win the divisional game 38-3 against the Dolphins. Ugly game against the Jets, 23-10, but dominate throughout, and then dominate the Super Bowl, win 34-19. I'm going to go with the 98 Broncos.
I'm going to throw the 2000 Ravens out there just because they're the only
yeah.
ones who did it with 4 games, and they allowed 1 offensive touchdown in 4 games.
It's amazing.
21-3 over the Broncos, 24-10 over the Titans, 16-3 over the Raiders, and then 34-7 over the Giants. And none of those games were even close. The scores won't say. I mean, even the ones that look, no team had a chance against the Ravens that year.
Right.
No team had a chance.
Yeah, it was amazing. They were different than any of the teams we talked about here. They're like the 85 Bears, where you're just like, are they going to physically abuse every team they play and just beat you into the ground?
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.